All right, quick question. How many jobs do you think it takes to get hired in Australia as a backpacker?
10, 20?
Try 100.
Yeah, I applied for over 100 jobs when I first got here and got almost nothing back.
And that's exactly why most backpackers struggle to find work. Not because there are no jobs.
But because they're doing it completely wrong.
In this episode, we're going to show you exactly why you're not getting hired, and more importantly,
How to fix it and get a job in just a few days.
100%. So let's talk about the reality. You land, you're excited, you're ready to work. You open your laptop and hit Seek, Indeed, all the big job sites. And then, crickets. And at that point, you start thinking, did I just make a mistake coming here?
It's honestly like shouting into the void. For most entry-level backpacker jobs, applying online is the slowest way to get hired. Think about it. A cafe gets 200 online applications for one barista position. You're just a name on a list.
And half the time, their software probably filters you out before a human even sees your CV because you don't have a local address history. It's so frustrating.
It's completely soul-destroying. You send 50 applications,
You get one automated rejection email 2 weeks later.
if you're lucky. But there is a much better way, a secret weapon that's so simple people completely overlook it. We'll get into the specific strategy for that in just a moment.
Okay, so the secret is walking in, the old school face-to-face approach. It feels scary, but it's the single most effective thing you can do. So are we saying online is completely useless?
Absolutely. When you walk in, you're not just a PDF anymore. You're a person. You're showing initiative. A manager can see you, chat with you for a minute, and get a feel for your personality. That's something an online application can never do.
But there's a trick to it. You can't just wander in at 12:30 p.m. when they're slammed with the lunch rush. There's actually a 2-hour window where your chances of getting hired go way up.
No, please don't do that. You'll get chased out. The golden hour, the magic window, is between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. In any cafe, restaurant, or bar, the chaotic lunch service is over, but the dinner prep hasn't fully kicked in.
The manager actually has 5 minutes to breathe and can give you their attention. They might just have realized they're short staffed for the night shift. You walking in at that exact moment is solving a problem for them.
And the one thing you absolutely must have on your CV when you do this, we'll get to that. But first, Sam, I think you have a horror story about learning this the hard way.
Oh, I do. Looking back, I now see the huge mistakes I made when I first got to Melbourne. I thought I was being productive, but spending 3 solid weeks glued to my laptop was the reason it took me so long to find work.
No, the classic mistake.
The biggest mistake, my initial approach was all wrong. I fired off 100 CVs online, I customized them, I wrote cover letters, and heard nothing. It was why it took me weeks. My money was just disappearing on hostel rent and goon.
It's such a horrible feeling. That dread you get every time you check your bank balance, seeing it just drop and drop.
Totally. I was genuinely starting to panic. I actually started looking at flights home. That's how bad it got. It was a massive, humbling reality check. The online method had completely failed me.
And part of your problem there, Sam, no offense, was probably your location.
100%. I was right in central Melbourne, where every single other backpacker was also looking for work.
You've got to think strategically. The oversaturated areas are death traps for job hunting. We're talking Sydney CBD, Bondi, Melbourne CBD, St. Kilda, Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast. Everyone goes there first, so get out of there. Go to the suburbs, or better yet, go to a different city. Perth has a booming hospo scene. Darwin during the dry season is desperate for staff. Even regional towns are a fantastic option with way less competition.
Okay, but what jobs are we actually looking for? What are the fastest jobs to land?
All right, number one with the bullet is hospitality. Kitchen porter, waitstaff, bartender.
Even if you have zero experience, you can wash dishes. It's a foot in the door.
Exactly. Number two is labor or construction. You can get your white card, which is the safety certification, online in a day. With that, you can literally be working on a construction site the next morning. The pay's great too.
And number 3, the backpacker classic, farm work. It's tough, but it's essential if you want that second or third year visa. It's a whole other beast, though.
Right, we've got a whole separate episode on how to survive your 88 days and avoid the horror story farms. But for getting a job fast, they are almost always hiring somewhere in the country.
So I learned from a friend who went through exactly what you did. I landed in Cairns, and on my second day, I went to the library and printed 30 copies of my CV.
Smart?
At 2:30 in the afternoon, I walked down the main esplanade. I went into every single bar, cafe, tour shop, and restaurant. I smiled, I was friendly, and I asked if the manager was available.
How did that go?
The fifth place I walked into was this busy little cafe. The manager came out, I handed him my CV. We had a 2-minute chat about my experience. He even said, "Someone just called in sick. Can you do a trial shift tonight?"
No way.
Yep, I started at 5 p.m. that same day. By the end of the night, I had a job with 20 hours a week. It took me one afternoon.
That's insane. One afternoon versus my weeks and weeks of misery and panic? It just proves that the method is everything.
It really is. So let's talk about the biggest mistakes that stop people from having that success, the things that will get you rejected on the spot.
Okay, mistake number one, a terrible CV. If it's more than one page, they won't read it.
And the absolute biggest CV crime, not having an Australian phone number on it.
Huge one. No manager's going to call your international number. It shows you're not set up and you're not serious. Straight in the bin.
Mistake number two, a bad attitude. If you walk in, avoid eye contact, and just mumble, "Are you hiring?" the answer will always be no.
You've got to sell yourself in that first 30 seconds. Smile, be confident, be friendly. They're hiring a person, not a robot.
And mistake number three, giving up after one day. You might face a lot of rejection. You have to be resilient and just go out and do it all again the next day.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. We promised the plan, so here it is. The guaranteed 3-day action plan to get a job in Australia for 2026 and beyond. Are you ready? And in a second, we'll give you the exact 3-day plan that would have saved us weeks.
All right, this is the part you're here for.
If you follow this, you can realistically get a job within a few days.
Day one is your admin day. Do not skip this. First, you get an Australian SIM card. Second, you open an Australian bank account. Third, you apply online for your tax filing number, or TFN. You need all three to get paid.
Then you finalize your one-page CV, put that new Aussie phone number right at the top, then go to a local library or an office works and print 50 copies. Yes, 50.
Day two is action day. Pick a specific suburb or a high street. Don't just wander aimlessly. At 2 p.m. on the dot, you start walking. You go into every single relevant business, cafes, shops, bars, and you politely ask for the manager.
When you meet them, you smile, introduce yourself, and hand them your CV. You do this relentlessly until 4 or 5 p.m. It's a 2-hour power session. Then you go home.
Day three is follow up and repeat. If any manager said check back tomorrow, you actually do it. It shows you're keen. If not, you pick a brand new area and you repeat the process from day two. It is a numbers game, and this method puts all the odds in your favor.
All right, so to boil it all down for you, the secret to getting a job fast is this. Forget spending weeks online. Get your admin sorted on day one, and then get out there and pound the pavement.
Walk in between 2 and 4 p.m. with a killer one-page CV that has your Aussie number on it. Be confident, be friendly, and be persistent. That is the formula. It's not glamorous, but it works. And it works fast.
We really hope that helps you land the job and start funding your incredible adventure. If you found this useful, make sure you listen to our next episode.
This episode was shorter because we wanted to give you a clear, no-nonsense action plan. Our goal was to get you job hunting in days, not weeks. If you found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.